What are your thoughts on what the Hawks should do at 2?
Man, it's not an easy spot for the Hawks this year. I mean, you had the layup last year, and now you've got to dig deep, and you got to decide kind of what the plan is. And I think a big part of it is what their plan is in the short term and what their plan is in the long term. Like, are they planning on trying to bring in some proper NHL talent to surround Connor Bedard, some bigger bodies? Are they going to improve that blue line right away, or are they looking to maybe tank for another season and take a run at James Haggins or Porter Martone? For my money, I've got Ivan Demidov number 2 on my board. I don't even have Lev Shinov number 3. So if it's me picking, I'm probably leaning Demidov, but I'm also not a GM sitting on a hot seat where I'm like, okay, I got to draft an undersized winger out of Russia who hasn't been challenged at all the last 2 years. Like, he's, the MHL competition is sliced, hot knife through butter for him. No international competition to see him at. He didn't get any looks in the KHL, so he really hasn't been tested against higher end talent. He's a game breaker and he's got that upside, but he is a smaller Russian winger, which isn't ideal. The kid that I'd be really taking a long look at too is Cayden Lindstrom. He's 6'3", he's 215 pounds. He plays the middle of the ice. He's super raw. He's got great awareness. He's got a great shot. He's an excellent skater, and that the potential, the runway for him to have a 1-2 punch of Bedard and Lindstrom. He's like, you could have Bedard running against the teams, they might be getting the first matchup, but then all of a sudden you got Cayden Lindstrom, who could be a top line center in his own regard, getting secondary matchups, right? And so that's the kind of, the depth down the middle that, really successful teams end up having. So, not to knock Lev Shinov, I think he's the best D-man in the class, not by a lot or with a bullet. I don't think he's a number 1. I think he could be a guy who plays on your top pair, but not one of these ones that you really feel confident running out there for 28 minutes a night and being the everything guy for you. So like I said, there's a lot to consider for this spot, and I'm happy I'm not the one actually having to make the call.
We all silly like the mayor.